Gordon Chang. I'm going to introduce them all just very briefly. You know them, I think, by now. He is a senior distinguished fellow with the Gatestone Institute and the author most recently of Plan Red, China's project to take down America. We have with us as well Captain James Fennell, United States Navy retired, the former Chief of Intelligence and Information Operations at the U.S. Pacific Fleet, also an author. His book, co-authored with Dr. Bradley Thayer, is Embracing Communist China, America's Greatest Strategic Failure. We have in addition Colonel John Mills, United States Army retired, author as well, among others, of Deep State, The War Against the Deep State, forgive me, a very personal insider's view as to what we're up against in that regard. We have another 06, now retired, Marine Corps Colonel Grant Newsham, a very accomplished practitioner, both in uniform as well as a foreign service officer and now businessman in East Asia. He too has a book, a very important one. I think it's entitled When China Attacks, a Warning to America. Brian Kennedy, the chairman of our Committee on the Present Danger of China, is with us. He is a former president of the Claremont Institute, now president of the American Strategy Group, and the author of, among other things, The Communist China's War Inside America. And finally, Dr. Karen Sigeman, last but certainly not least. Dr. Sigeman is a woman who has served our country with distinction during the Cold War as one of our specialists out of uniform in the anti-submarine warfare space. These days, she runs a tremendously important group, the American Freedom Alliance in California. I think she's an author too, but I don't have her book at hand, but she will be perhaps shedding light on her work in that space as well as others. Anyway, the A-Team, and I want to thank also our colleagues who make all of this possible, Didi Logason, whom you've just seen, and Oleg Atbashian as well, our technical backstopper. So we're going to try this experiment, and I want to start by asking Gordon Chang to say a little bit about the evidence of Xi's somewhat uncertain status. Gordon, please read us in on what you make of it all at the moment.
Well, thanks, Frank and Didi. The preponderance of evidence suggests that Xi Jinping has lost influence recently. There's all sorts of assessments, from Xi Jinping is going to formally lose his post in August, to he's going to be kept on as a figurehead, to others that will say that he is weakened but will stay on for quite a long time with his post, and some who say he's as strong as ever. But the infighting in China right now is most clearly seen in the People's Liberation Army. Since July 9th of last year, there have been 3 articles in PLA Daily, which is the propaganda organ of the Chinese military, that praise, quote unquote, collective leadership. Now, this is a phrase which is a direct slap at Xi Jinping's style of governance, because Xi Jinping has one-man rule, as we all know, but he's also demanded complete obedience to the party, and he's demanded that the party show complete obedience to him. Now, these articles could not have appeared in PLA Daily if Xi Jinping controlled the military. There are reports that these articles are actually written by officers, military officers, and others who are loyal to General Zhang Youshao, who is the first vice chairman of the Communist Party's Central Military Commission and China's #1 uniformed officer. And there are many rumors about General Zhang's unhappiness with Xi Jinping. We have seen some personnel changes that suggest that Xi Jinping has in fact lost control of the Chinese military, not just influence. So, for instance, Xi Jinping's #1 loyalist in the military, who is a vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, #2 uniformed officer, that is General He Huidong. He has not been seen in public since March 11th, at the end of the so-called 2 sessions. Now, there are rumors that he actually is no longer alive, that he was suicided in the 301 hospital in Beijing in May, along with another Xi Jinping loyalist. And there's been a number of commentaries that said that Xi Jinping sacked his own guy. And General Hu was absolutely critical to Xi Jinping in the military because he was the hatchet man for China's leader. I actually don't think that that is right, given what we've seen with those PLA daily articles and with other Xi loyalists also being removed from power. And that suggests that Xi Jinping is no longer in effective control of China's military, which, by the way, is the most powerful faction in the Communist Party. On the other side, on the civilian side, there is also evidence suggesting that Xi has lost influence, although here there is less corroboration. But clearly, Xi Jinping disappeared for 2 weeks this spring. When he came back, he has not been portrayed in state media in the same light as he was before, with the exception of what happened on Monday. And I'll explain that in a few moments. You know, normally Xi Jinping is shown in state media as giving directions to the Standing Committee or the Politburo, and people clap and all the rest of it. That has not been evident in state media since April 25. He has been shown, but he's been shown in ways which clearly show that he has lost influence. And that is, of course, problems for Xi Jinping. On July 13th, he actually gave a speech at an event commemorating the 120th anniversary of Chen Yun, who was a statesman during the Maoist and the Deng eras. And Xi Jinping was forced to praise, quote unquote, collective leadership, which was startling. Also, when state media showed this event, they did not show anyone clapping for Xi Jinping, which I think is important. Now, the other thing that has really sort of got people's attention around the world to Xi Jinping's troubles is the announcement that he's not going to the BRICS summit in Brazil. Xi Jinping has never missed one of these. The reason given was that he has seen the Brazilian president, Lula da Silva, already this year, so he doesn't need to see him again. But that's not credible for any number of reasons, which we really don't have time to go into. But it's clear that Xi Jinping should have gone to that. Now, not all the evidence says that Xi Jinping is lost. We saw on Monday state and party media carry his remarks to the Politburo, the 24-member Politburo, talking about various essentially unimportant matters. But it did show Xi in a more important light than has been shown since April 25. When you put all of this together, it shows that there is turmoil in the party. Now, this is not to say that Xi Jinping is lost. You know, Xi Jinping's a strongman. And we have seen in prior eras with Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping, the two other strongmen in the communist era, they have sometimes been exiled. They've sometimes been sidelined. They came back. So Xi Jinping can come back as well. But the one thing that we can say for sure is that the Chinese regime right now is racked by intense infighting. And clearly the political system, at this moment at least, maybe not for long, but at least at this moment, China's political system is not stable.
Gordon, thank you very much for that comprehensive treatment. Just one corrective, I believe you said July 13th. Did you mean June 13th? The speech
no, the Chen Yun thing was July 13th.
July 13th of last year.
Of this year.
July 13th.
Oh, sorry, so June 13th. You're right.
June 13th. Okay, good.
You're right.
Oh, correct him. Thank you. I want to get others' comments on this. John Mills, I know you have to leave early, so I did